Disclaimer. The topics discussed in this video pertain to some very disgusting subject matter that is not suitable for all audiences. If you are faint of heart, have a weak stomach, or suffer from a severe case of butt hurt, this video is not for you. Please turn back now. It gets pretty fucking disgusting. You've all been warned. Please do not target, harass, dox, or bully any of the individuals mentioned or featured in this video. Don't do it. Just don't. This is merely a commentary by the author of this channel on recent events and should be taken with reasonable doubt.
I'm telling you, chicken sandwich and Alfredo.
Oh, that sounds pretty delicious right about now.
Hey
Yeah, I
guys!
can go for some pizza.
Pizza's here!
Dude, pass me a slice.
It's not ready yet. This is missing a topping.
Topping? What do you mean?
Yeah, you know, we were talking about it. We wanted to call 19 other dudes over to have a special pizza party. Bodily fluids, you know, on the pizza. Then we were gonna eat it. Jogging your memory now?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Oh, come on, guys. It's just a topping. Admittedly a fucking disgusting topping, but a topping nonetheless. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tuju Panda back in Ash Talk about something else today, but something else, it's going to be about something that's absolutely fucking disgusting. Granted, it pertains to furries, so what more could you possibly expect? I mean, do I have a story to regale for you all? But before we get into that, let's just sort of ease ourselves into it with context so that you all have a sense of what I'm talking about. Alright, so, Reno, Nevada. I'm sure you've all heard of it. It's the biggest little town in the Wild West. Basically, if you're not a big shot to make it in Las Vegas, you go to Reno, because Reno caters to those that like to gamble. It has certain old world charm to it, you know, sort of like the Wild West. And it also reminds me a lot of Fallout New Vegas, because there's a particular furry convention that's been taking place there for several years now. Biggest little fur con. And I have to say, like, I was sold the first time I went, and I attended for several years after that. It takes place at the Grand Sierra. I keep wanting to say the Sierra Madre, but that's Fallout New Vegas, Dead Money. If you haven't played it yet, I would definitely recommend it, but not really pertaining much to the story here. But yeah, the Grand Sierra is pretty much a self-contained resort town, you know, and if you want to go out into the major town, you can avail yourselves to various other venues that happen to cater to gamblers and those that like to enjoy that sort of thing. What I would say right now is that as far as as far as furries are concerned, that's pretty much the Ritz, you know? All you can eat buffet, like all sorts of like little gambling dens and like activities to enjoy on like premises. I loved it, you know, and especially if you got like a con hotel, like a hotel on premises, and you can just go wherever you wanted to go. I went out in the desert for a couple days, and it was pretty fucking fantastic. But other than that, like, you know, you get what you pay for. It used to be the first year that I went, like, they heavily discounted rooms for, like, first-timers because they wanted to attract more attention. Unfortunately, there was a change of leadership and therefore a change of policy in later years, so you had to pay as much full price as anybody else that wasn't a furry. But, hey, whatever. It didn't really detract from the con experience for me very much. I mean, it was really just, by day, you enjoyed all of the conventions, like, you know, panels and things like that. By night, you got drunk and you hopped room to room for room parties. But anyway, there was a particular party this year that had sprang up, and it took place in, the Grand Sierra. It happened to involve 19 people, and it was a pizza party, you know? You all like pizza parties, right? You get drunk enough, you need something salty to sort of soak up all the alcohol. You order, like, an extra large meat lover supreme, and, you just chow down on that, maybe invite some friends, get some fun, like, as you talk about days of yore and, chow down on pizza. This wasn't that kind of a pizza party, though. This particular pizza party involved something very specific being done to that pizza. No, the furries didn't fuck it, but they might as well have, because I'm just going to go ahead and say, like right now, if you are, faint of heart, weak of stomach, anything like that, you might as well just pause the video. Prepare yourself. If you are eating, I would definitely put the food down. Maybe grab your, trash can nearby. Get ready to projectile vomit right into it. Those 19 furries all came on the pizza. Yep, you heard me right. The pizza was the centerpiece of Bukkake Fetish. And for what reason or purpose? E-clout, I guess. There's a recurrent theme in the furry fandom that pertains to bodily fluids going into food for whatever reason. And I riffed on that. I made a couple shorts that took that idea maybe a step further.
I asked the Barros if they put dragon cum in my pizza, but they said no. So, can I have dragon cummies on my pizza, please?
No. Leave.
But those are works of fiction, okay? I'm riffing on it. I'm not trying to, encourage people to do that sort of thing. But, yeah, it happened. There's definitely photographic evidence to support the fact that it did happen. The individual's name, the green fursuiter, displayed here, his name is John, I've been told. I do not know John. I know him only as Legged Wolfie, or Maned Wolfie. Maned wolves, they come from South America. It's a species that looks similar to a cross between a fox and a wolf. So there you go. But yeah, John, he initiated this whole thing. Tweeted about it, advertised it, had a little poll that asked people, hey, which would you rather have happen to this pizza? I forget the other option, but I do know the second option was cum. And everybody voted on cum. So he was doing it. He invited, presumably, 18 other mutuals, and they all obliged. And they all, came on this pizza. And I have to say, if you're going to furry conventions to get laid, you only have so much sexual energy to pass on, you know what I mean? Sometimes if you get off, you can recharge over the course of an hour and be ready to go, in a couple hours or so. But yeah, that's kind of a waste. It's not only I saw this as a huge waste of food, and I heard the first stir that I heard about was on Saturday when it actually happened, and I was just kind of hot damn. Furry degeneracy has truly taken the next level, but it gets worse. So, what basically happened is John wanted these 18 other people to, come on this pizza. They came on the pizza, they took some pictures for the goofs and gaffs of it, and, supposedly, this is supposedly, John actually took a bite, possibly even ate a whole piece. The rest of the pizza was allegedly thrown away. Here's where the controversy begins. The controversy is that whether or not John actually threw it away or they left it in the hallway. The reason I say this is because there's plenty of tweets out there that you can, at the time, I don't know if he deleted them or, whatever, but it was pointed out that, a pizza was left in the hallway somewhere. Now, there was a time when I was young enough and dumb enough that if I saw discarded food out in the hallway, I might take a bite. It looks normal. Granted, you never know what happened to that food prior to you getting to it. And in this case, you would see, the fluids because it's quite visible. 18, 19 people worth of cum. That's going to be pretty fucking visible. And the smell, I can only imagine the fucking smell. But anyway, they were joking about how it was left out in the hallway and that people were starting to find it. And here's where the controversy begins. The outrage on Twitter was monumental. A lot of people were expressing their absolute disgust, disdain, and condemnation of, John and anybody that participated in that. But then John, sort of explained himself and just said, hey, we just wanted to do it for the goofs and gaffs of it, and we left it out in the hallway. No, wait. He said that they disposed of the pizza. And supposedly there's photographic evidence to support this. They were throwing it away into, one of those trash bins. Here's the thing, though. Why would you say it was thrown away And earlier, you're joking about how it was left in the hallway, and other people ping you about it, and you're like, we left it in the fucking hallway, man.
It just raises too many questions.
It just seems like either he's got severe foot and mouth disease, or he, like, quickly backtracked to cover his own ass. And, like, I don't know the guy, alright? I'm not, like, gonna personally condemn him like so many people on Twitter have. Like, I was more pissed off at the fact that, like, one, if you actually left it in the hallway for other people to find, that's pretty fucking shitty, okay? If you did that, fuck you. But if it was just, like, you know, you threw it away and you were just, like, messing around, whatever. I mean, it's absolutely fucking disgusting, but it's not like you were, you know, hurting people by doing that. Other than our own sensibilities, because this is quite cringeworthy, and I saw it as, like, a massive waste of food. Maybe I'm a little bit, you know, mentally desensitized by all the shit I've been exposed to, but, like, I didn't see it as something worth condemning him over. Granted, I will tell you this, I don't remember that many kids being at BLFC in the years that I've gone. So, like, but there are presumably going to be families and kids on the premises. That's not really a good look for the fandom. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want that shit just to be found out by other people. I'm glad I waited, because I wanted to see how far this whole mess was going to go before I passed judgment on what was factual, what was credible, what was complete and utter horseshit. But if you're just going by the tweets, the pictures, and, like, you know, John's own words, then, you know, I don't know. There was Bento Bull, or whatever the fuck his name is, that, like, took a picture. These are people that, like, you know, in fursuit, that's kind of like your personal identity in the fandom. Fursuits being thousands of dollars a piece, like, it makes sense that you would want to show that off and enjoy it out in public, so people will quickly recognize that, and that will be your character. That's your image in the fandom. What's crazy is that for as dastardly bastardly as this plan was to do this bukkake fetish sort of deal with a pizza and take pictures with it and post it online, you know, like, that's pretty ballsy to put your fursuit, you know, front and center. And, you know, obviously various people out there have made memes about it and stuff like that, or, like, you know, poked fun at the idea. But also, there were some genuine concerns, and of course, Kiwi Farms had to, like, start monitoring the situation and keylogging everything. That's what they do. They're basically the 4chan equivalent of the CIA at this point, collecting all the little dirty, you know, dockets and information of whatever happens under the sun. So, you know, but anyway, there are people that were mentioning this to the Grand Sierra, like, staff and stuff like that, like the actual hotel staff. I'm not talking about the con staff. The con just kind of, like, shrugged their shoulders and took a more laissez-faire approach and just kind of, like, goofed and gaffed with the people that were making fun of this. I mean, so, like, they weren't hurting anybody. That's the biggest defense I can say. My one friend, his, like, attitude towards all of this is after it was quote-unquote disproven that the pizza was just left in the hallway somewhere. His take on it was that people were basically kink-shaming him. You know, it's just kind of like, well, you know, if that happens to be his kink or something like that, and he was just doing it to do it, like, who are you to judge him and, you know, pass your puritanical bullshit on the rest of us? Because, various furries out there, they're into things that I don't particularly care for. Like diaper furs, I find that horribly weird, and I don't understand it. I don't like diaper furs, but at least the kink. There's plenty of people out there that are probably diaper furs, and I don't know that. And you know what? I kind of prefer not knowing. I don't need to know all your little dirty secrets, okay? Like, we can make... Okay, that's weird. I disappeared for a second. I don't need to know all your dirty little, details about who you are and what you're all about. But yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, here's the thing. The response on Twitter was swift, and it didn't really culminate until a couple days after it all happened. And what's important to note here is that while everybody was fixating on the cum pizza and jumping on the bandwagon of either condemning John and the various other people that participated in the pizza party, an actual incident of sexual assault had taken place. And there was supposedly 2 sexual predators that were running around. Smart money would be on them using the distraction of the cum pizza, that they were using that as a distraction to basically avail themselves on other people and force themselves on other people. Although there was one individual, I'm not entirely sure of their name, or they have some sort of avian persona. But here's the problem. They made a teary-eyed video about how somebody supposedly forced themselves on him in a hug. And that was all, if he didn't do anything, it would have turned into rape. And I don't really know for a fact, or I can't disprove that, but at the same time, it seemed like a bit of an embellished story. And, I've been sexually assaulted before. It was just groping, or sort of like a forced hug, but you fight them off, and you're like, get the fuck off me. So, I don't know, people get a little handsy, and they can't take no for an answer. What I will say is that the person that made the teary-eyed video, they've had a history of sort of making up bullshit to either condemn the furry fandom, or they're almost like a burn fur, like an older burn fur, and that they just want to smear the fandom as this sex-crazed fandom that's full of degenerates and needs a cleaning up or a complete destruction and collapse of the fandom to be rebuilt and reformed. It's just okay. Doesn't excuse you of making shit up, because the actual 2 assaults that happened, it was almost glossed over. And a couple of people that I'm aware of were kind of pissed off about that, because sexual assault's kind of a big deal. You don't get all handsy with people if no means no, and I'm not gonna really feel sorry for you if you get maced in the face or something like that after the fact. But anyway, that's all that happened at Biggest Little FurCon. I guess the situation has sort of unraveled, because people are still talking about the cum pizza. It's just basically become the butt of a joke at this point. But at the same time, there's what's crazy is that furries love this artificial outrage. They love to be artificially outraged about something and condemn it, and condemn anybody that even so much as either is tolerant of it, or is supportive of something that they don't like, and they get personally invested in saying, in reference to the cum pizza, this isn't funny. You think it's funny? This is absolutely what's wrong with the fandom. And it's dude, get off your fucking high horse. You're not the Puritans of yore to tell me or anybody else out there what's kosher and what's not, okay? Go fuck yourself. But yeah, certainly a disgusting act that I wouldn't personally encourage or support. But at the same time, I can't really fault them. The only thing that I'm going to say about John and the 18 other people, I genuinely hope that they were being honest when they properly disposed of the pizza, okay? Because the fact that they would even mention that they left it out in the hallway is the least bit irresponsible and disgusting. You're not really containing that. You're not taking care of the problem yourself, the mess that you created. You're letting somebody else take care of it, whether it be hotel staff or other congoers. And that's kind of shitty, especially if you're going to lie about it later after the fact. Now, what I'm going to say from this point onward is more hearsay and conjecture based on a few mutual friends I have. They mentioned that John is the type of person that would deny doing things for e-clout, but then turn around and do things for the e-clout, and then deny it after the fact. And they wish that he would just own up to that, instead of just being that e-clout dude that's like a glory hound that has to be at the forefront of any controversy or event that takes place. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I see a lot of attention-seeking behaviors these days, for whatever reason or purpose, because I guess people need self-validation, or they just do it because they can, you know? But anyway, other than that, the one thing that I will say about all of this is that you probably shouldn't exchange bodily fluids on pizza. It was a Papa John's pizza. I know that Papa John's, as like a company, has been kind of smeared in recent years because of Papa John himself saying the N-word and various things like that, but it's still fucking good pizza. It's a hell of a lot better than Domino's with its fucking fake-ass bubbles bursting out of it. And like, Pizza Hut, decent pizza, it's just a little bit too salty for my taste. I feel like Papa John's is like the gold standard pizza for me. Unless you're in Chicago, then you should get deep dish, but we don't have that luxury out here in the East Coast. So, yeah, like, I see that as a waste of food, alright? The artificial outrage that was expressed on Twitter can go fuck itself. I'm getting tired of this. But yeah, other than that, like, this is certainly a seed of degeneracy. And I say that because most of you at least half of you are probably furries yourselves. At least half of you are not furries and probably see this as absolutely irredeemable. But shit like this happens more often than you think. For better or for worse, I can't say, but I don't want to be there when that fucking pizza starts to degenerate and, like, mold over, and that fucking pizza cum, like, you know, turns into a mass of mushrooms or something like that. But anyway, not as long as my usual videos, and that's alright, because there's only so much that I can sort of talk about, like, you know, cum-flavored pizza for so long, okay? So, I would say, you know, why don't you get yourselves a drink? It's Friday night. Enjoy yourselves. Go out and party. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Till next time, guys, take care and peace. Hope you have a better one.
Okay. Let's go have some fun.
Hey fellas, thanks for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Would you care to hit that like button and subscribe for more? I'd greatly appreciate it.